Hello and welcome. You're listening to the Nordic Takedown, a Star Wars Unlimited podcast. Weekly episodes dropping every Thursday. This must be Thursday then. I'm Viktor and I'm here with Adam.
Hello. Glad to be back.
Yeah. How you doing, man?
I'm doing fairly good. It's been a stressful week because my wife is sick and I am leaving for Munich. So um, it's a lot to be preparing, taking care of, and all at the same time. But it's all right. How are you?
Yeah, I actually was out cold, really bad influenza last week, but I'm
Mhm.
feeling much better now. So everything's looking up for Munich for me as well. That
Nice.
is actually one of our topics for the day. Oh yeah, it's just me and you here today.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe we should say that as well. So today we're going to talk a little bit about our Munich hype because both of us are going. And then we have some news to discuss. Today
Yeah.
they
Today.
spoiled the PQ schedule for the entire set. We had some little hints before, but now we know for sure.
Yeah, and I failed to mention to you they've actually released the sectors
Oh,
spoiler
they
as well.
released the
Yeah,
sectors for next set as well.
so I will spoil it for you later there on the
That,
news section. I will
yes,
keep
please.
drag you, leave you hanging.
Yes, please. Yes, please. Then we're going to do a short spoiler for set 6 segment. Just a little bit what we like. And also our second main topic for the day will be a little bit of pre-release prep because that is coming up as well. Do you think you will be attending any pre-release in Munich?
No.
No.
Uh,
Ah.
wh- is there like we're playing a main event, right?
Yes. But I'm actually going down on Thursday, so I have plenty of
Oh,
time. I
maybe if there is something Friday, maybe.
Exactly. That's what I'm hoping for. I think I saw they had in the schedule a lot of little events dotted around the thing, or maybe you could find just a store in Munich. It's a pretty large city, so there might
Yeah,
be a store around that has a pre-release if the event isn't doing it.
but we have a delayed pre-release when I come home here in Costa. So
Yeah,
I will attend a pre-release for the set, but might not be in Munich.
yeah, yeah. Me too. We managed to delay our pre-release in Uppsala as well for the week out, so it's going to be in
Nice.
the week. So I get at least one. All right. Well, let's dive in a little bit. But before that, what's been going on in your SWU life?
Good question. Well, it was the PQ in Stockholm because I wasn't on that pod. That was a tragic event for me. But other than that, it's mostly been practicing for Munich. I guess part of the practice for the PQ in Stockholm was also intended for Munich, obviously, since it was so close.
I think calling Skövde Stockholm is a stretch.
Oh, did I say Stockholm?
Yeah.
Okay, I mean Skövde. Yeah, the Swedish PQ. Yeah.
The Swedish BQ. I mean, of course, you could say that all of Middle Sweden is the Stockholm
No,
area.
I would not do
But
that.
I think it's a little bit of a stretch.
It's closer to Göteborg, and so I think that would be more accurate.
Even so, yeah. Yeah.
How
Yeah.
how about you?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
couldn't go to the Swedish PQ this set because I had previous engagement because, well, FFG isn't always very good at letting us know in advance when and where their bigger tournaments are going to be. So
I
I had
guess
a,
if they would have announced that this early to not interfere with your plans, it would have been a lot of ahead of schedule, right?
yeah, definitely.
You
I
were
was
casting a different game, right?
I was engaged to be part of the cast for, or to anchor the cast together with an old friend of mine for Vitus, Vampire: The Eternal Struggle, a really old game. Used to be around back in the '94 or something. So it's been
Yeah.
going for a very long time. They had the European Championships in Denmark, and I headed down there to stream it with a friend. It was really much fun, but then I caught some flu. got home and have been out absolutely cold, 40 degrees fever, which is not good when you're a grown up.
Well, no, it's not, but it's also very good, even as an adult, because we have works or jobs which you can't attend to when you're sick, which means that you can practice for these big events. So, have you used your time to practice?
I tried, but I I was really out of it for the first 2 days. So those days, the few sessions I did weren't very, like, I couldn't concentrate or anything. But then as I got better, I had a little bit more of actual practice. And actually, I did talk to a lot of people about my deck and about where I want to go. So I've actually ended up deciding what I'm going to bring, and that's what's happened in my school life, I guess.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah,
Um,
kind of
nice.
leads right into our first topic, the Munich hype. Then,
Yeah.
so what? How are your preparations going?
Unclear, I would say. I think that they are going fairly well. It is. It's kind of hard to say because I think a lot of my prep has felt decent this set, and it still haven't panned out very good in the tournaments. I guess the prep for Bilbao was awful since I switched deck the day before. So, but I think one of the main things is that I tend to do some uncharacteristic mistakes in certain matchups. I think, for example, in the PQ in Stockholm, Nicola told me that I made a mistake versus him, and when he said it, reminded me, I was like, "Yeah, that's uber dumb,"
Mm,
and I should have beaten him and been 4-0, basically because it was a 2-1 game for him. I missed out on 7 damage just because
ooh,
I played around. I played around what's it called? Maze window because I knew he
mm,
played it in one of the rounds before. I didn't want my record to die. But I killed an Owen Lars, which
mm,
means that he could pull a Luke. He didn't
mm,
pull a Luke, but he had a Luke on hand. So I still lost the 7 damage instead of just doing 7 and get maced. And
mm,
without close, it actually went in damage. I would have won it. So I need to uh, get my head straight in all these games that's coming up. I guess going 6-2 has not been my problem in these tournaments. It's been 7-2,
mm.
and I've been like 5-1s and stuff like that, and 6-2. So it's possible that it's gonna go well, but I am. I don't think it's gonna go well, but I'm gonna be really mad if it doesn't. So it's like, I don't think I can do that much more preparation. It's more about the day, maybe the matchups a little bit, but
Mm.
I think yeah, I need a little bit of luck and stop making misplays,
Get your
basically.
head in the game
Yeah.
properly. Yeah. No, I think for these bigger tournaments more than anything, just being centered, being relaxed, being able to focus without getting too nervous or like overthinking things. That's where it's at. That's the thing. And then, like you said, lucky. You can't win any of these major big tournaments
No.
without at least a little bit of luck, or maybe possibly being better.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But I can confirm that he's lucky sometimes.
yeah, sure. I'm pretty sure.
But yeah, so I think it's gonna be fun if we just talk about the hype, since this has been booked out
Mhm.
like after 10 minutes or 20 or whatever it was. It's going to be interesting to see like the quality as well,
Mm?
because some of the best players have not gotten the tickets that wanted to
No,
go in Europe. uh, there is like multiple of those,
yeah,
which means maybe it's going to be easier, maybe it's not even going to notice because it's still 512 players. You still need to go 6-2. Maybe it's a little bit easier to get into the day 2. It could be.
could be, could be. I
um,
mean, we
Top
we
8 is still going to be nasty hard.
I think even if we're missing some of the very top players, it's still gonna be really rough to go 6-2. You know.
Or
Um,
5 wins and 3 draws, but
yeah, yeah. Of
You
course,
know,
of course.
that is
Uh,
an option,
yeah.
even though you forgot about it in Galactics. No.
Oh, yeah. Don't remind me. No, but
How's your prep going, by the way?
yes, like I said, I've actually settled on a deck after having some help from my friends. I ended up talking to Stevo a bit after Bilbao, and he's been playing a deck that I've been playing a lot as well.
I'm
Uh,
aware.
yeah, and between his very insightful little nudges, I ended up bringing my version of that deck, but with some tweaks, with the help of him. So I've settled down. I know what I'm going to play, and it's going to be fun. I like playing that deck. So I did all right with it in Finland. Um, I made top cut.
Yeah.
It's fine, I guess.
Yeah,
So
the
yeah,
deck is solid.
yeah, the deck is solid. It's not the strongest deck probably, but it's not super weak into maybe some.
I think it has one super weak matchup, and that
Yeah,
is,
hard
uh,
control.
yeah,
Yeah,
uh,
hard control can be really rough.
yes.
Yeah,
Otherwise, you're in it for the most part.
yeah,
Uh, I
exactly.
guess now we're just talking around the deck, and people don't even know what it is. So,
I don't know if I want to spoil it, but
no,
it
exactly.
because of if it was just me, I'd
Yeah,
I'd I'd be spoiling it. But since there are other people
yeah.
involved, I
I
might
should
keep.
probably not have spoiled that it's bad against hard control, but
Yeah,
I think there is a multiple decks that can be
there are
bad
many
against hard
decks that are
control.
bad,
So,
so we're probably fine. Well, anyway, so what are your expectations for the event?
since it's in Germany, I'm expecting it to be very proficient. It's going to go well, fast. uh, no Spanish struggles. No, but I think it's going to go run pretty smoothly. I think it's going to be quite fun. Uh, the meta is probably going to be quite similar to Bilbao.
Mm,
Some a lot more Han 2 ECL, obviously. Um, that's going to be the main difference, I think. Otherwise, maybe some more Tals in red,
mm,
since that's the finalist decks. But since Mother Tals in red is uber difficult,
mm.
I am surprised if that's going to be too many on that deck, because like most people will pick it up and then realize they can't win with it and then
I
dump it.
only expect people that have played it, that was on it, but sort of put it away when Force Throw went away. I only
Yeah,
expect some of those people to pick it back up. I don't expect a lot of people to migrate to it from completely other places.
yeah. Uh,
Um,
and Thrawn Data Vault will also be very popular, I
yep,
think.
yep. I think that is rather a deck that will have some migration to it. I think a lot of people that have been doing blue green villainy might migrate to that deck.
Yeah, I think also that's the more fun version, in my opinion. Like, because you can do the double triggers.
Hmm.
Like, don't get me wrong, that Kira Data Vault can also be completely nasty because she
Hmm.
flips one turn early. Like,
Hmm.
she's a lot better at barraging things with.
Oh yeah,
But I think it's more interesting to play Thrawn Data Vault as a control player.
yeah. Mm.
In my opinion, it feels a lot more fun. So I'm suspecting most people will be on it. It's the one that performs best when you look of the control decks, unless you call Palp Yellow a control deck, which I don't. So,
Well, I
uh,
do. I, I
yeah,
I would say that is control, even though it's soft control. I think
yeah.
it's still control.
So it's those two decks,
Yeah.
most that are, and Thrawn Data Vault has better results in general, even though
Hmm.
Palp has won, like the big one, the big in the US.
Hmm.
Um, so yeah, that's a little bit what I expect. And what do you expect?
No, but pretty much the same when you talk about the meta. I come to the very much the same conclusion. I think it's going to be very much seeing how we're probably dealing with a lot of like semi-local people from
Yeah,
like the area. I think we might have a very varied meta with tons of different things coming in. uh Off meta decks, kind of meta decks, previous meta decks. I think we're going to see a lot of everything. But then I I'm very much excited for the actual event. I think OPE probably have a lot to prove to themselves. I think they're going to go all out on this. I think they really want to get this chance to show everyone that it wasn't their fault. The mishaps that were especially in Milano weren't their fault, and they probably are going to go all out to try and prove that that's the case, that they can run this event
Yeah.
absolutely the way they want to do.
Liverpool was an improvement already, but I think they want to step up one more
Yeah,
even.
that's what I kind of expect them to be doing right now. They are a very experienced TO organization. They run a ton of events for
Yeah.
tons of games. So I think they want to show this community what they're all about. And of course, people in the UK already know because they've run tons of PQs
Yeah,
there
yeah.
and stuff. But
And like the big early events, like
yeah,
in
yeah,
London,
yeah,
200 players and stuff
yeah.
early.
But I think they want to show Europe what they're all about. And I've actually talked a little bit to some of the people working on the cast there. Well, not actually on the cast, but behind the scenes on the cast, and that's the vibe I'm getting. That they're going to really,
Make it happen.
yeah, make it happen. So I'm really excited. I think this is going to be a really cool event. I love going to Germany and play cards because the board game scene, the card game scene in Germany is really cool. And like you said, it's usually well run. It's usually very friendly. Germany's very easy to get around. Like
Yeah.
even though everyone aren't necessarily super accomplished at English, it's very as a Swede, it's not really a problem.
No, it's more accomplished in English than in France and Spain.
Certainly.
So like for these major events that we've had, and more than Italy as well. So
Mm,
it's still the best one coming to the English part
yeah.
for us international travelers.
Probably, but also just in terms of it being very similar to Sweden,
Yeah.
in how things run. So it's easy to get around. Everything is well, um, you know, uh, you can see signs for everything that work, and as
Yeah.
a Swede, you pretty much can make out a lot of the text. It's similar enough. If you know a little bit of English, you can usually make out what's what. So
Yeah, yeah. I look forward to it. I've never been to Munich. I've
mm,
been to multiple places in Germany, but not
mm,
to Munich. So it's going to be fun.
yep.
Maybe if we're lucky and you go out on Sunday, there is a Bayern Munich game. You can book some tickets for late. I don't know.
I think I'll probably stick with the event, but yeah, sure. So I think this is an event we're both looking forward to a lot. But like you said, we have some news. There has been a cast today.
Mhm.
What's on the horizon when it comes to tournaments?
So we can start with the big ones with the sectors.
Mm,
They have announced the next basically season, and it's basically what I kind of got like when I talked with the FFG guys in Vegas. Uh, since we got a sector and a regional asset,
mm,
and the US got two sectors, it's the reverse in this set, right? So
right.
the US is getting a regionals and a sector, and Europe is getting two sectors. And just like US, one limited and one premier.
It makes
Uh,
sense.
yeah, so it's basically the same kind of formula, and I think the US got a sector with premier and the regionals that had both. I assume
Mm,
that's the
mm,
case. And for us in Europe, it's Paris for the
right.
limited event. The limited sector qualifier is in Paris, which is easy to get to, not too cheap to be in, but it's
Nope.
fairly easy to get to Paris at
Yeah.
least.
Yeah.
And the premier one, this is something you're gonna like, Victor.
Hmm.
It's going to be in the Netherlands.
Oh.
They have
Uh,
not confirmed the city, but Netherlands is not that big, so I think if you like Netherlands, it's gonna doesn't don't really matter where.
It's so funny when people from the Netherlands talk about like it's being out of the way if you get something in Groningen or in Leiden or sorry Eindhoven
Yeah,
or so there's it's so far away, and so nope, it is not. It's an hour on train.
yeah, it's super easy.
It's super easy.
That is the worst complaints I've ever heard.
Yep, yep. And obviously anything in Randstad is basically the same city. All of the rest of the cities in Holland are just basically one big city, and
Yeah,
they are all very easy to get from Schiphol, the Amsterdam airport.
yeah. So I should probably announce the dates as well. The
Mm.
the the Paris one is 31st January to 1st of February,
Oh,
and the Netherlands ones is somewhere in January.
somewhere in January. All
Uh,
right. So I'm gonna have to get my shit together to get to go to Holland in the beginning of the year then.
Yep. Hopefully, it's not the first week of January when we
Mm,
have the Swedish PQ, because
that would
now I'm
be
coming to the PQs. Because
yep.
Sweden has been a little bit unlucky with having our PQs very close to the sectors and regionals in Europe these last two sets.
Mm-hmm.
But the I'm just going to run through the Nordic ones here because we're not going to take every European one. Uh, but the Nordic first one is in the Finland one is going to be outside of Helsinki this time. It's going to be Turku, which is Åbo for us Swedes,
Mm.
and that's going to be Saturday the 7th of February, which is their location. Then we have Denmark, of course. It's going to be on a Sunday, 1st of February, in Horsens, middle in nowhere. Again, like,
Again.
um, yeah, I'm gonna get to it. In Sweden, we're also getting a little off location in Linköping, or Linköping, depending on what do you want to hear. It's a fairly big city in Sweden, and they have a big community locally, so they sell probably quite a lot of boxes. There is a pretty good train connection to Linköping. It's not the end of the world for Swedes.
Yeah.
I guess Malmö has a little bit to go, and they get extra screwed of this stupid Denmark location. Great for you locals in Denmark that lives near there, but it's not good for anyone else
Right.
in the Nordics. And then, of course, we have the Norwegian one that is in. That's the limited one. We only get 3 premiere this time and 1 limited. And that one is going to be in Norway. And then everyone is going to think Oslo or Moss. But no, it's Stavanger. Very off on the west coast of Norway. Very easy to get for nobody in the Nordics.
I mean, Stavanger is so off. Even if they would have put it up further up north, it would have been easier to get to. Because Stavanger, you have to basically drive around the whole peninsula to get to. They don't actually do like crossroads in like roads straight through in Norway. They don't build straight roads. They
No.
build along the coast. That's what
Yeah.
they do. So it's such a far way to drive.
Yep. So yeah, this my first reaction was to this announcement was like, are they actively trying to kill the Nordic scene?
Yeah.
Like, we don't get that many PQs to starter, and we have a very far away to travel in general. Like,
Yeah.
it's not like if the Netherlands gets 4, they have they can go to France, Germany, like everywhere. Poland is a disgrace that they get 4 in the UK like 12 or 16. Like,
Right.
how is that even possible? But they have a little bit closer to other stuff than we. But that's also a disgrace.
Yeah. Yeah.
But now we're focusing on the Nordic stuff, which they are trying to kill. And then all these weird places in one set. It's not super cruel to put it in different cities, but how are, let's say, for a Swede that can't make Linköping,
Yeah. Where are you
just
going
not,
then?
where are you going?
I guess Åbo,
Well,
but you know.
yes, but that's a project. Like,
Yeah,
it's not
it
an
is.
easy road
No,
unless you
it's
live in
not.
Stockholm, which is not super easy.
No, exactly. No, it is certainly a project. And like we said, going to places like Skövde and Linköping, which Skövde was the last one, and Linköping is this upcoming one, it kind of makes sense in a way in Sweden,
Yeah,
but then maybe not put the Stavanger one the same set. Like
yeah,
if you want to go, Stavanger is, I think it's the second or third largest city in Norway, so
I assume so.
it kind of makes sense. But if you're going for Stavanger in this set, then maybe you should have gone for Gothenburg in Sweden,
Yeah, yeah,
just to sort of move things closer to things. And
yeah,
then next set you do Linköping in Sweden,
yeah,
and then you do Oslo again in Norway.
yeah. Or like when you put something crazy off in Denmark,
Hmm.
then you maybe put something in Malmö.
Yeah, yeah,
Like it's so stupid. Uh,
it's really weird.
and like also because we discussed it when they were adding the limited things into these things.
Hmm.
I was kind of worried that they would sub out the premiere ones, uh, but hopeful that they would just add on.
Yeah,
Uh, and now it looks like
they
all
sub.
over they are subbing them out,
Yeah,
which is a complete catastrophe, in my
yeah,
opinion.
it's what
Uh,
we really, really didn't want to see.
yeah,
We really hoped they would go the other route, but yeah, it's what they're doing, I
and
guess.
I think if we just look at Sweden, because I think like just having one PQ as set for us in Sweden is
Hmm.
bare minimum to me.
Yeah,
Like, and I think both Sweden and Denmark like host enough things to be able to get to a set each.
I think so. I think so. Especially, definitely three between the two of us.
Yes, and
Like,
that should be the limited, the extra
mm,
limited.
yeah,
But maybe that's gonna happen in the future. But
hopefully. Uh,
hopefully, but we haven't seen an increase in PQs since set one, when we only got one in Denmark,
mhm.
which was different circumstances, but or set two. But this is like this cannot continue if you want to have a living scene in Sweden, because like, or in the Nordics, especially Sweden and Norway and Finland. Well,
Mhm.
Finland, the Finns don't travel too much to Sweden anyway, but the Norwegians and Swedish people are trying to actually travel to stuff, and Denmark, but Denmark has a little bit closer to Germany if they actually want to look to something,
Right, or Poland.
or Poland. Yeah, we, unless we live in Malmö, we don't have that close in Sweden, and the Norwegians don't have close stuff at all.
No,
Yeah,
no, and that's what I kind of meant with putting it in
Göteborg. Yeah,
Gothenburg. If they're gonna do some off place in Norway, put the other one, the Swedish one, in Gothenburg, so
yeah,
people on the eastern parts of Norway, which is the most populated part of
yeah,
Norway, have an easy time to get to the Swedish one if they can't get to their own Norwegian one.
yeah. And Göteborg makes so much sense in a way, like
Yeah, it
because
does.
it's easy for Copenhagen people, it's easy
Mhm.
for Stockholm, it's easily for most Swedish places, nor south of Sundsvall.
Kind
uh,
of, kind of, and it's basically, if you're up north in Sweden, you're gonna have a hard time getting anywhere anyway.
yes.
It doesn't really matter then.
So yeah, I am very bummed out. I guess my wife is going to be happy because it's going to be less travel. Like that's what's going to happen. And but I think because store showdowns is not enough for most people. It's fun, but
Hmm.
people have gotten the taste of these PQs, like wanting to get the points as well.
Mm.
For like, I know you, Victor, really are trying to get 100 points
Yep,
for Galactics.
yep,
Uh,
very much so.
this makes it a lot harder
Yep,
for
it
you.
certainly does. It certainly does.
Because this set and then the next, then
Right.
you have to finish it up like with sectors and regionals, of course, but those are not easier to gather points on.
Nope. Yeah,
Might actually argue that it's harder to get points there. uh,
probably, probably.
so strange, I would say. I think I don't know, maybe I was gonna say someone needs to talk to FG. Maybe that is us on this pod, who actually get stuff from it. uh, but uh, but yeah, I don't want to dwell on this too much because it's so negative, but I'm very disappointed, very
Yeah,
disappointed.
yeah. For this set, I was hoping that we were going to get a little bit more of a get more, not in a
Yeah,
way less again, because
yeah,
this feels almost like a step back to what they were doing for set 4, where we had some really weird locations in
yeah,
Denmark again, and Ikast in Denmark, and we had Moss in Norway,
yeah,
and now they moved for set 5. They moved to major cities again,
yeah,
and it felt like, yeah, okay, so they're trying to be smart about it.
yeah.
This feels like a step in the wrong direction.
Yeah, definitely. And the and one of the biggest things is that they have removed one of the premier ones.
Yeah.
Like the Norwegians don't get a premier event to go to this
Well,
set. Like more or less because it's impossible to get to Denmark and to Sweden for them. Like Linköping is not easy for them.
no. I
Like,
guess Denmark, because you probably have ferries and stuff going
yeah,
from some parts of
but
Norway down
probably not to
to
Horsens.
Jylland, to Aarhus anyway,
To Aarhus, yeah, but
and then you can probably take a bus.
yeah, yeah, but that's probably if you live in Oslo.
Yeah,
Uh,
probably if you live in Oslo,
yeah,
that's very true. Oh,
uh,
Stavanger.
yeah, or Stavanger, yeah, uh,
Those are probably the two major cities that would have ferries going to
to
Denmark.
Aarhus, yeah.
Yeah.
Um, so it's not easy anyway. Okay, let's move us to the next topic,
Yes.
Victor.
Yes.
We're
Let's do
we're at
that.
least in a full agreement that this was shit.
Let's talk about something that we are excited and
Yeah,
happy about, and that is the upcoming set 6. So I had a little brief on. We won't do any major spoiler talk because the set has been fully spoiled now, but just like discuss some cards anyway. So what is a card that you can't really wait to slot into any of the decks that you already have brewing? Is there a card that is such a shoe in that you just want to bring in?
so to be fair, there is not that many decks that I have brewing, I guess, because I don't know for next set. But one card that I'm really looking to slot into one deck is Jar Jar Binks for Sabine.
Well, I mean, everyone is looking to
Yes,
slot that into Sabine, and
yes.
it makes me so angry.
Because I love Jar Jar Binks, and like I think we were talking about it in some of
Yeah,
the earlier episodes that if
yeah.
I want something to design a card, it's an OP Jar Jar Binks, and we might have
We
gotten it.
might have that now.
Uh, I'm just gonna read the card in
Yes,
case someone hasn't.
yes, please do.
It's like me that haven't seen the whole set yet. So
Hmm.
it's Jar Jar Binks is a unique unit, 2 cost command, not a hero, so it's not good for a cause. I know.
Hmm.
Uh, it's a 2/1 stat line. Sounds awful. When played, you may give another friendly unit 2/2 for this phase. So a little bit like a Fleet Lieutenant
Yeah.
style, but it also has plot. So
Hmm.
you can basically then flip Sabine and give her +2/+2
Yeah.
right away, which would mean she's a 4/7, which means nobody can kill Sabine on flip anymore.
Exactly.
Uh,
And I
and more
mean,
damage.
it does it saves her from all the things that could take her before
Yeah.
on flip.
Even the power of the dark side.
Exactly, it defends power and it defends takedown.
Yeah.
But
Or Blue Leader as
yeah,
well.
yeah, yeah. So it's pretty much what she's been asking for.
Yeah. And Sabine don't mind playing 2/2 drops on 4.
No.
So that's why he's so amazing in this compared to maybe a Han 2 ECL or
Hmm.
something.
Hmm.
Like they don't want to spend 2 resources to make Han +2/+2.
No, and
Uh,
I mean, you don't have to pick Sabine herself to be
no,
the beneficiary of the
no, yeah.
boost. You could boost something else if you needed it. So it's very versatile. I
Yeah,
think that's
exactly.
one
You
of the
might need
cons.
you might need to save a ship.
Yeah.
So you flip Sabine to play him to boost the ship.
Hmm.
Like and then okay.
Yeah.
It's also action cheating, which is
Yeah.
plot in general, but yep, it's pretty strong.
And action cheating has always been the thing that Sabine loves to do.
Mhm.
And just her flip turn had been usually that has been the turn where you really can't action cheat at all because you have so much to do on that turn.
Yeah.
And with this, you might actually get closer to
Yep.
to doing a normal turn for her on that turn. So I think everyone I've talked to, I'm actually working on a follow-up Sabine video to my previous the State of Sabine video. It's going to be called Final Evolution Sabine. And
Finally, Jar Jar is what's going to call. I hear.
it kind of is I'm afraid, because there's only one card everyone agrees on when I talk to them. I've interviewed tons of people, and everyone's really excited about Jar Jar, and I'm sitting there with my closed fists, like, am I gonna have to play Jar Jar?
Yeah, I might just be a Sabine player because it's Jar Jar. Like I like I hope there's a prestige Jar Jar. I will buy all three and just pimp the deck out with Jar Jar. Like
Yeah. So I also have a card that I've been
yeah,
eyeing slot into Sabine, obviously, but I'm really excited about aggressive negotiations. This is an event. It's a red event, 3 cost. It says attack with a unit. For this attack, it gets +1, +0 for each card in your hand. And I think this card is a really, really great follow up to like the turn after your flip turn in Sabine. If you're using plot to sort of
yeah,
save your hand a little bit, you might have 4 cards in hand. At least you should have 3 cards in hand after playing this. If you're using a plot card, so you're not double playing. So that means that you get +3/+3, which is basically having access to a surprise strike in green red.
yeah. +3/+0, you mean? But yeah, we
Oh
can.
yeah.
Yeah,
Plus 3/0. But that's a really really good finisher, especially if you've upgraded something, or if you have if you've gotten close on your flip turn, then for the next turn you might strike in with +3 here.
yeah.
It's going to be very cool to test out in
I
Sabine.
think the only thing that can be a problem with this card combined with Jar Jar is that if you're running 3 of both, you have 6 cards that are missing for a cost.
Yeah,
That's the thing, like finding a good balance.
exactly.
Maybe it's not a 3 of. Yeah,
I don't think you can play 3 off both of them if
no,
you're running for a cost, but you might be running 2/3. Like 5 of for a cost misses are kind of where Sabine has been at quite a while. You
yeah,
might be able to stretch this to 6, but 5 is probably fine, I guess. But
yeah. I
I
think
mean,
that's not too bad.
this card is going to be, if you're playing it for a +3 boost, it's basically a 4 cost baked in with a attack of units. So it's
Yeah,
again, it's action sheeting, which is really really strong. So yeah, I'm excited to try that out in my Sabine decks. Well, the other spoiler question I had is: have you been eyeing any card that you feel like might be like a build around, a card that you think could have cool synergies?
kind of. Yes, I haven't built anything around it yet. To be honest, like since I'm not at that stage yet. But it's actually a card that I think you were kind of skeptic to because you
Hmm.
talked about it in another pod. But I have been eyeing Sinta.
Oh, you have.
Yeah, ever since she was released because it is basically action cheating. Like
Hmm.
for like it's 2 actions. Like
Mm,
you
mm,
double action sheet, which is very very strong. You
mm.
just need to find either like a leader or a setup for it to be disgusting.
Yep.
Um, and my initial thinking, there's 2 of them. Like
Mm.
it's either Cassian,
Cass.
the new Cassian, yeah,
Oh, the new Cass. Yeah.
yeah, who comes out as a 6/2,
Mm-hmm.
um, and can't die if you have initiative, more or
Yep.
less. Like,
Yep.
so I'm thinking, and that is probably a little bit more for maybe set 7
Mm.
when Sabine is out. Like that might be the new aggro combo.
Right.
Uh,
Right.
but for this set, I might be looking into it together with Anakin
Hmm.
because
Yeah.
Anakin has had a trouble on the flip turn
Right.
lately,
Yep.
and 6 resources is not awesome unless you have unless you have the new Anakin on hand and has some triggers for it. But it's
Mm.
not been like, ooh, this is such a good turn.
Hmm.
Um,
Hmm.
so that's what I've been looking a bit, and I hope I can make it work.
Mm.
That 5/5 stat line is not amazing, but it's not something they can just ignore after. Like,
No, true.
and sometimes you just need that Anakin. Like sometimes when you face, for example, like a Sabine or something,
Mm.
you need to make 2 Anakin swings. If
Right.
you can just flip him and swing, Sabine needs to end you that turn or claim probably to
Yep.
kill your. Otherwise, you just claim and hits like a truck. So that's the one I want to build around. If it's possible, I'm not sure,
Yeah.
because it needs a little bit set up, maybe more than the leader.
Mm.
But it could also be like if you have Poe on the board,
Mm. Mm.
and you just flip your leader and get to attack with Poe for 10. That's pretty good.
It's pretty good.
Or is it? Sorry, 8. I mean,
Yeah.
it doesn't +2/+2. That is Jar Jar. That plus is there.
No, yeah. I've been critical about this card because of it being plot and 6, which kind of locks it into a very limited pool of leaders, and there are not that many leaders that are particularly strong on 6 flips. So I think when we talked about it, the leader I did mention that where I thought this could be interesting is Anakin. To be fair, I hadn't been looking at Cass at that point. Still, really haven't. I must say, I've looked at him for other reasons than for Premiere, but
Yeah.
we'll get into that later. I'm not entirely sure how to build a proper Cassian deck. I must say, but
No, me neither.
but Cinta might be away. It's just like 5/5 for 6. It
You are also paying for double action sheets,
for sure.
and it's a card advantage if you do it from the plot, so you get to keep a hand.
Yeah, see, kind of the thing is that the leaders that flip on 6, except for maybe Anakin, aren't necessarily that much in a rush to do things like this. But maybe they will be. Who knows?
Yeah. No clue, and I haven't checked everything yet with the set either, so it could be some other combination as well. I think it's definitely designed to be synergetic with Cassian. That's for sure.
That makes sense. It definitely does. Yeah.
How about you? What are you gonna build around?
So I don't know that I'm actually going to build around this, but there is there is a potentially very broken combination, I think, that makes a lot of sense. So you've got this unit called Axe Wolves.
Yep.
And in this set, we're getting a card for him. Let's say we're getting a card for him. Emergency Powers is an event. It's a 1-cost event. So it is potentially that you could play him and play this event in the same turn with some regularity. And what it does is choose a non-leader unit and play any number of resources. For each resource paid, this way, give an experience token to the chosen unit. So preferably you play Axe Wolves on 4. He's a 4-cost unit. Maybe I should bring him up to read him out to people if people aren't familiar with him. Axe Wolves.
I got him in front of me.
Okay, cool.
He's a 3-cost. I was gonna, so he comes on turn 3, 2. I mean,
even better.
Even better. He's vigilance, unique, so you can have multiple. Mandalorian trooper, shielded, 2/2, but has 1+1 for each upgrade on him. So it's basically a 3/3 with shield play when you play him.
Yeah. Which means there's a very good chance that he sticks around to next turn.
Yes.
And then next turn, you play Emergency Power on him, then for 4, which will put 3 experience on him.
Yes, which is 6 extra damage.
Yeah, 6 extra damage, 6 extra health, straight up. And if he still's got the shield, then he's he's a 9. He hits for 9 then.
Yeah, if anyone thought they need to can remove the bamboozle next set, the answer is no.
No. You got to keep your bamboozles.
And maybe add your waylays.
Yeah. I don't know for sure that this is something that you will actually be playing, but it is such a strong thing to exist in the game that it has to be explored.
Yeah, I think if you're playing Gar, you're gonna have this as not your only and main plan, but as a tool.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, and I've been known to play Gar. So yeah, It
Like,
is
and
something I've
then
been looking at.
since it's blue, both cards are blue, so you can
Yeah,
do it in Gar yellow, Gar ECL, in
in
Gar
any
red.
color with him.
If
Yeah,
so, like you're not locked into something like a poor version of Gar, then you can do
no,
it in every Gar if you
yeah,
had some spots,
yeah,
which
yeah,
is strong.
yeah. It is. It is very strong. If this actually becomes a big thing, who knows? But it certainly has enough potential to be explored. Well, let's move on to some more. I mean, we're staying in set six environment, but
Yep.
our last main topic for tonight is how to prepare for your pre-release. So let's reiterate: what is a pre-release?
Oh yeah. Pre-release is kind of like going to a regionals limited event. You get open six boosters and play your game. The only difference is that you are not getting points for qualifying to Vegas, and people are less competitive. Uh,
A lot less
yeah,
competitive.
but actually now, like, these pre-releases are actually is actually like sort of a practice for the regionals and the sectors in a way
I bet.
that has never been before. But it's a for fun event.
Mm,
Pre-release is a for fun event for everyone,
yeah,
to have like kind of the same baseline. You open six random packs and you start playing.
yeah.
No one has a real advantage is the plan. That's
And the word pre-release obviously hints to a very important part of it. It's usually the week before the
yes.
actual release of the cards. So the week before you can technically buy a product in for a new set, you get to pay to play with some of the new product. You get to play around with the cards, and that's what I really love about pre-releases. It for me, last set was well, this set like that was Legends of the Force was a little bit different since every card was spoiled so far in advance.
Yeah.
But normally I don't do all that much theory crafting before the pre-release. Like the pre-release is one of the main ways where I really get my hands on some cards and I really start um, actually thinking about the cards when I start building that pre-release deck with the six random packs I opened. And I generally don't go into pre-release with that deep knowledge about the card pool. I
Me
follow
neither.
spoilers. I have fun with that, but generally I've just looked a bit at the leaders and then I go to my pre-release and start seeing what works. That's usually how I do it.
Yeah, and this time it's not as obvious to me. I have checked less, I guess, because last pre-release was like, oh, Talsin,
Mm,
she's obviously strong,
mhm,
and you could play it, and same with Obi-Wan.
mm.
Um, but this one is a little bit different.
Yeah,
It feels like, at least for me.
maybe that's a good place to start. Like one of the first things you're going to have to decide is what leaders do you want to play. And my general advice here is always that your card pool at least should have a very big influence on what leaders you actually play in the end.
Yeah.
But we've noticed from most sets, some of the leaders are a lot stronger for limited than others. So we actually talked a little bit a couple of episodes ago about what leaders we thought were going to be good in limited. But let's see what I don't think you were on that episode.
No.
No.
uh,
What leaders do you think might be interesting for a limited environment for your pre-release? What would you be happy to open?
I think I would be happy to. Or is that a starter? No, Amidala is the starter, right?
Hmm.
Amidala and Palp.
Yep.
I think for me, I think Leia Organa,
Hmm.
uh, since she has this, you may disclose one of the colors or heroic if you do give an experience token to a unit that doesn't share an aspect with disclosed card on attack, which means that you can get on like some extra value for bringing some off aspect in your deck,
Right. Right.
which makes it less limited on your deck building. She's also 4/7 for 6, which is decent.
Hmm.
Uh, I I think there is Lutheran Well is also decent. I think Uh, don't remember him completely, but yeah, I would
Well,
say
yeah,
Leia.
he's got one of those board control abilities. When a friendly unit is defeated while attacking, you may exhaust this leader. If you do, deal 1 damage to a unit or base. And when he's out as a unit himself, he does the same thing, but you don't have. When a friendly unit is defeated while attacking, you may deal 2 damage to a unit or base. So he actually gets to burn base with his ability, which is a little bit different. Not that
Yeah,
common among very few leaders have abilities that can burn the base.
yeah. Anakin can burn his own, but the
Mm,
opponent,
that's not the same.
it's not the same. But he
um,
does burn base.
oh, he does. Oh, he
It's-
does. So that's interesting, and we know that having abilities on your leader that help you control the board has always been very strong in limited.
yeah.
So that can definitely be something.
How about you? What are you looking
Yeah,
for?
I think, especially in a pre-release environment, you should not be too shy to look at Mon Mothma. She's a 3/7 flipping on 5, which is
Yeah,
good stats, and 5 is where you want your leaders to flip. 4 or 5 is generally, and
yeah,
rarely 4 works for pre-releases. So 5 is where you want to be at, and she's got good stats for that. But she has a very interesting ability for a limited card pool, and that is ignore the aspect penalties on non-villainous official units you play. So you can play all official units you open, which makes your card pool wider. You
yeah.
can just play a lot more units that you open because there's going to be a ton of official units in this set. Whether or not all of them are good remains to be seen. But
But
at
in a
least,
pre-release, it's just
yeah,
more cards. Yeah,
exactly. I think it's interesting for a pre-release, and also her her passive ability when she's a unit is interesting. She still has that the same no non-aspect penalty thing, but then she also has each other friendly official unit gets +0/+1, which gives them a little bit more staying power, I guess.
yeah,
Make trading math go off a little bit. Could be interesting. So I think that's probably not to scoff at. But like I said last time I talked about this topic, I I definitely think Colonel Yularen is going to be one of the stronger ones. I do agree with you that Leia might be very strong. You're
yeah,
always going to play basically 50-50 in your card pool, even if you do not play off aspect, which means that Leia is very likely to be able to trigger most of the time.
yeah,
But with Colonel Yularen, you got a um, 5 resource flip again, which
yeah,
I do think is important. And he's got an action sheet ability, kind of like Leia Organa had in the first set. So he's green and black. That's interesting. But then his leader ability is action and flip the leader card, attack with a unit, then sorry, not flip, exhaust. Attack with a unit, then you may attack with another unit that costs less than it. So basically, you can attack with any 2 units as long as you attack with the more expensive one first, and you can't attack with 2 units that cost the same. And then on his leader unit side, he's got when this unit completes an attack and survives, you may attack with another unit that costs 4 or less. So it's a bit of action cheating. We know that Leia was able to use that ability to quite some leverage that ability to quite some extent in limited environment in set one, but she was locked into rebels, only could only do
yeah.
it rebels, which meant that you had to open a card pool that suited for that. That is not the case with Colonel Yularen here. He can do it with, it's just the costs that affects it.
I think they are. Now I'm talking about the set overall. They are
Mm,
adding a lot more action sheeting,
yep.
and that is quite dangerous, in my
Mm-hmm.
opinion. It's
Yep.
like action sheeting for those who played Star Wars Destiny, which has similar play pattern like
Yep.
this.
Yep.
Action sheeting was obnoxiously OP
Yep.
on certain cards, like completely disgusting, especially for certain aggro decks, but also some combo plays.
Yep.
So they are opening a very
This is the
Uh,
kind of ability that can be very, very problematic sometimes.
yes,
Yeah.
yeah, uh, because you leave like the whole game is structured around I get to interact with you after you do something,
Hmm. Hmm.
but you're not in these cases.
Yep.
Um, like you have to interact with him before he do this, otherwise he does two stuff. Uh, and yeah, uh, actually, Colonel Yularen looks fairly well started.
He's
Like
very well said. I was going to get into that.
he looks
He's a
completely broken,
4/6 on 5. 6 is a little
almost
bit
boba.
squishy, but it's not out of the way squishy. But
Not for
4
five.
for on 5, that's fine. I mean, that's the same as hand 2, and I've heard that hand 2 is playable.
Yes, and the Han 2 is actually 3/6.
Yeah, he's 3/6. Yeah,
Yeah,
so it's
this
the
is
same
almost
health.
this is almost Boba. Boba
Yeah.
was 4/7.
Yep.
Um,
Yeah.
Obviously, he's not cheating resources, but like
No.
if you can get like an aggro deck going with him,
Yeah.
that's when he's going to be good.
And I think like the bar for calling something an aggro deck in limited environment
Yeah,
is much lower. So I think in limited, Carnularin could definitely be something to look out for.
yeah,
I think that's a card that can shake things up a bit. Uh,
definitely.
there are some sleepers that might be good. It's harder to tell really, but certainly have the possibility. I do think that Sly Moore could be interesting. Again, flips on 5, yellow, black. On leader side, it's not super useful. It's only action, pay 1, exhaust leader. If there are 4 or more exhausted units in play, create a spy token. So from turn 2, if there has been no trading and everyone has played 1 unit each every turn, you might start using it. I don't know how good that is, but when she flips into a unit, she's 3/6, which is fine. She's a force unit, which might be important, hard to say.
Yeah,
But she has on attack, you may deal 2 damage to an exhausted unit. And now that is good.
yes,
That is very good. So I don't know if it's going to work, but it could be interesting. And then I think Sabe is absolute monster powerhouse in constructed, but I think she could work quite well in limited as well. I don't know if you're aware of her abilities.
yeah. It's the one that scry the opponent deck,
Yep,
right?
yep, yep,
Uh, I think when Sabine rotates out,
yep.
that's when
Sabe,
she might shine like
I
the
think
most.
she might shine against basically anything except Sabine and some other super aggro leaders. But even with the aggro leads, like if Sabine, there's so many times you get into top deck mode with Sabine, and being in top deck mode against Saber is going to be
Suck. Yeah,
horrible. It's going to be horrible. Leader ability is she's a yellow heroic. Leader ability: when a friendly unit deals combat damage to a base, you may exhaust this leader. If you do, look at the top 2 cards of the defending player's deck. Discard one of those cards, put the other back on top. And then she flips on 5. She's a 3/6, which is fine, but she's got raid 1 to make it more aggressive. And she's got when this unit deals combat damage to a base, look at the defending player's hand. You may discard a card from it. If you do that, the player draws a card. So she's got a Basine ability built into her on attack when she's sorry, not on attack, but built into her attacks. When
yeah,
she hits face, she gets to do a Basine every time.
yep. That's pretty okay.
It's nasty. It's nasty. And if you combine that with all the hand hate that already is in Yellow Heroic, like you play this with the Kira unit and the Ahsoka unit, and probably you play it with Spark of Rebellion as well, and maybe you do double yellow, so you play it with the Bodhi Rook, and now people will not like you.
Yeah, yep, exactly. People will not like you. Yeah, that's true.
Yep. And I think like now I talked about constructed obviously, but I think this is very strong in limited as well. I think stat line with 3 masquerade, 4 4 6 masquerading as a 3 6 or the other way around on 5. That's really strong, and a very very interesting ability to sort of deny your opponent the strongest cards.
Yeah, and I agree. She can be really, really good.
Yeah. All right. Apart from the leader, what else are you going to have to look out for in at your pre-release? What should you hope to open?
Jar Jar Binks.
I guess.
uh, I think. I think actually, if you are playing Get Leia, Cinta is good
Hmm. Hmm.
because actually, like, that's a 6 drop.
Yep.
Uh, uh, I am not too read upon the set to make complete, but I think good early units,
Yeah.
like your good turn one plays, um, is very important, and of course having like some later bomb, like maybe Rex or something.
Hmm.
But I'm not completely sure. Like, what would you look for?
So
Like, not that you can look for it. It's not like draft, but
no, but things that will help you decide on leaders and so on. Well, utility units are always important. We have a couple of interesting reprints in this set that are very interesting, strong, good ones. So you got Wiper Droid is going to be reprinted here. It's the 3/2 villainous unit with the when played, look at the opponent's hand. I think that's a solid opening unit just to get a little bit of an idea of what your opponent's planning ahead, and
yeah,
it strikes for 3, so it's quite aggressive. You got a Sith assassin, which has the same stat line. It's also a 2 cost villainous unit, 3/2 with hidden and force traded, which might be interesting. I don't know really for this set. So those are cards that could be really interesting if you're looking to do villainous, and you have a really really interesting reprint in Rebel Pathfinder is reprinted for this set. It is a 2 cost 2/3 heroic unit with Saboteur, very good opening unit. As well as you've got Marva Andor reprinted again, which is a 3 cost 3/4, which is very solid stats, and Rebel traded might be interesting, sorry, and a very good ability. When defeated, give an experience token to each friendly rebel unit. So she's basically, well, she's often going to be kind of like a medal ceremony when she dies.
yeah,
So I think she's a very good unit to have in your pool. Both of these are well, Marva is uncommon, but Pathfinder is common, and the two villainous units I talked about are both common. Then I often look at what kind of things you can put in space that your opponent won't be have too easy to deal with, and
yeah,
there's not a whole lot of space in the villain, respectively heroic side that could go into any color. So that's not really. I think heroic arc is probably the best one. It's a 4 cost 4/3 heroic unit, uh, Republic traded. When played, if you control a damaged unit, you may deal 2 damage to an enemy unit. So that's probably a very strong one for 4 hits for 4. Might stick around even though it's only 3 health.
yeah,
Could be really good. But you've got a really good tank for 6 that can be interesting. It's only 5/5, but it's Sentinel. Sorry, you give a unit Sentinel, but it can
which is
definitely
even better
exactly,
because
but it can give itself Sentinel. So I think that's often the case. And it's plot. I don't think you're going to plot with it unless you have a 6 cost leader, but I think it's playable even without plot. So those are some cards that I think might be really interesting to keep an eye out for, just to get that card pool started, to get early units that work, that that have a good thing. But then I think things like Bail Organa is really strong. Uncommon unit, 2 cost 2/4,
yeah,
yellow heroic. On attack, you may discard a card from your hand. If you do, create a spy token. So that is basically you get a 2 for 1 the other way around. I think that's pretty good. Like 2 cost, and you open up with 2 units. That's going to be good.
Yeah, that is really good.
Yeah.
If you're gonna try to get the board, like
Yeah. I think those are the kinds of things that you might be looking out for. Do you have anything that you've found?
no, like I think there are like, but when I'm looking, there is actually some very good to draw turn one plays. I'm not sure, like when I was looking here, if you mentioned exactly the same, but like Imperial Dark Trooper, that's basically Battlefield Marine.
Yeah.
And you have Sith Assassin 3/2 hidden.
Yeah, this assassin was the one I talked about.
Yeah, he's not necessarily OP turn one, but he can be a really good ender because you can't really attack turn one anyway.
No.
But and those are not really built around cards, but I think if you get a fast leader, like we talked about Colonel Yularen, this is a rare card, so it's unlikely you get it, but it's Sit on Moy. 4 or 5 underworld, deal 2 damage to a base when you take the initiative. So if you can be fast and like with these action sheeting stuff, I think that can be decent.
Yeah, I agree. So often you have to look at the common card pool as well as maybe the uncommon card pool. That's where you're going to have
the
things that
stuff
you really need. And that's start looking at that in preparation. Like once you open, it doesn't matter what's underneath.
Exactly.
But the things you actually opened is the things you got, so then you're just trying to see. I think curve is super important. You can't play limited without having a good curve, and with good curve in this case, we're talking about tons and tons of first turn plays. You need at least 6 2-drops.
Yes, it sounded like you was gonna say 10, but since it's a 30 deck card deck, it's like 6 to 7 is a good one. If you get that, it's solid.
But you don't mind as long as you're not playing bad units. There's nothing problematic about playing 8 or even 9 2-drops as long as they're good 2-drops.
That I agree on.
Because you can go 2 on the third turn. You can play 2 2-drops. That's not a bad thing in limited.
No.
So that's very interesting. There are in this set 1 cost units with 2/2 stats in several colors, and that is often not a really played slot. I think 1 cost units can really serve a function in limited because they can fill out your curve. So having 1 cost units might not be too bad a thing. Not too many, but especially if you're a little bit low on 2 drops, you can fill that out with a couple of 1 drops, and those can then masquerade as just ways to fill out your curve. So maybe you only get 5 decent 2 drops and you're playing a bad 2 drop as well. Well, maybe you should consider playing some of the 1 drops instead. If you can go to 2 or 3 1 drops, that can definitely help out.
For sure. I think is that all we got on this part?
I think so. That
I'm starting to feel less knowledged.
Yeah, I think we've parted all the wisdom we have to give you now.
Yeah, maybe we should say like some leaders to avoid. Like I'm gonna say 3PO and Satine.
Yeah. To be fair, I think there is a world where you could play Satine, because Restore 4 might just be annoying enough, and Health 8, people might just not be able to remove her ever. So I wouldn't say she flips on 5. That's decent, but I don't think that's what you want to look at first. But 3PO, don't go there.
Yeah.
DJ, no,
don't
do it. Don't do it. You don't want to play a double yellow leader. That's just limiting your card pool way too much.
Yep. Like it.
I don't think that's a good idea.
Double yellow main
Yeah,
in limited. Then you have to draw on some really weird stuff to make that worth.
yeah. I honestly think that Bail Organa is a problem as well. I think when I first looked at him, I thought he was going to be quite interesting in limited, but I
Yeah.
don't think it's going to work in limited. I think
No.
it is just the discarding two cards from your hand over and over again. Even if you get sort of a pseudo draw mechanic with him, actually a really good draw mechanic probably, but it costs one, so
Yeah.
it's gonna sort of limit your abilities. You're gonna fall behind. It's kind of a D ramp sort of situation where you're playing for less than what you should have. I don't think he works in limited actually, and I also think that Chancellor Palpatine is going to be hard to play in limited. He's one of the leaders you get for free. Sorry, you
Yeah.
always get because in the pre-release kit you always get two leaders with you. But I think you have to have the right plot cards to make him work.
Yeah. Like he's gonna be there from the beginning, but yeah, it's gonna be. So in case you just get tons of blue stuff, you might have to play him.
Yeah.
Compared to like Satine and Bale, they are rares, so
Mm-hmm.
you're most likely not gonna run into that problem.
Exactly. Yeah.
On in 6 boosters.
For sure.
You're not gonna be like because common leaders you can get multiple of. You're not gonna end up with 2 or 3 bales.
No.
That's
right.
not what's gonna happen.
No. Very, very sad if you do.
Yeah.
So I don't think that's going to be too much of a problem. All right. Well, should we call it a day?
I think so, and we are gonna meet each other in not too many hours, like 48
exactly.
or something. Like
Yeah.
it's getting close.
Yeah.
Since I'm going train, I'm starting tomorrow, so it's gonna be cool.
All right.
And hope we see as many of you as possible in Munich.
Yeah, can't wait. Can't wait. Please come and say hi. We love it when you do, especially Adam, because he feels sometimes that people don't recognize his face enough.
Yeah, in Bilbao there was quite a few though. I've not been on enough pods to shout that out, but like a big thanks to the people that went up and said hi, and also gave compliments for both videos and podcasts. So
awesome, well deserved, actually, very well deserved.
Thank you.
Well, now let's say the magic words, which I believe is "May the Force be with you."